Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue our journey watching 90 Day Fiancé. My name is Dr. Kirk Honda. I'm a therapist and a professor and a YouTuber now. Let's get to the show.
I married Colt because I don't like the situation for Colt or me. I love Colt, but Colt needs you. New Colt.
Look, last night, you coming back to the hotel means a lot to me. It showed me that you want it to work. Thank you.
Your girlfriend's a Brazilian girl, so I like Paris, so sometimes you need to. Yes, do they know?
I don't know about this couple. I haven't assessed them. I don't know them. I haven't worked with them. But in abusive relationships, it wouldn't be uncommon for the abuser to be very sweet, especially when the victim gives in and is pleasing to the abuser. So the abuser controls, the high control person controls and breaks the other person down. It doesn't feel good to the victim, but they give in. And then the high control person will be very sweet and say, "Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing that. That means a lot to me." Now, what commonly will be said about that is that the high control person is a psychopath. They're evil and they're manipulative. They're trying to break you down. That is true for some individuals, that they are psychopathic, they lack empathy, they are Machiavellian. There are those people, but they're very rare. Most of the time, when someone is high control, it's because they're so afraid of losing someone that they resort to something very extreme, such as control. So when there is attachment security through control, the high control person will actually feel on the inside of, this relief of I feel security now, thank God. That reinforces the controlling behavior, by the way, because it's like, I was controlling, I was rewarded, yay for me. And it further locks in that behavior when you're attachment insecure. And to the victim, it can feel like, he's not always upset. He's not always controlling. Sometimes he's very sweet. And this is something that is often misunderstood as people on the outside of these relationships. People on the outside of high control relationships might say something like, "Why are you with that person? I don't understand. That person is controlling. They're mean. They're intimidating. They don't respect you. I've seen, you've complained to me that they're controlling. I don't get it. Why are you even with the person?" It's because, aside from the psychopaths, they are very caring, they're very kind, and they genuinely love, the high control person, the people that I've treated, they genuinely love the victim. They genuinely need that person. And when things are going well, it operates very similar to any other relationship where there's tenderness and warmth and a bond and attachment and security. It's only when there's that threat that the high control behavior kicks in and very bad things happen. I don't know if that applies to this couple, but I feel like that should be mentioned.
Strict yes, and
Compromise.
yeah.
That's fine. I like that. We should do that. Look, I want to build something. I want to work with you. I want a relationship.
I want you.
It's great to talk to Jess about our differences and come to some kind of accord. After Larissa, I never thought I would find love again. But with Jess, I think we have a future together.
Today's a new day, okay?
New day.
Relax.
Maybe this is a sign of good things to come. Maybe they never fight again. But I wouldn't be surprised if whenever Colt feels insecure, that the behavior is going to kick in again, and we're back into this cycle. I don't know, but I guess we'll have to just watch and see.
Would like to come to Brazil with me when I come and see you. She asked me if she could go.
Your mom?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
After I told my mother about Jess, we were able to sit down and have another conversation. And in the end, she invited herself to come to Brazil with me. I feel like I owe it to my mother. She really got hurt a lot by my wife. And I want my mother to know that I'll be okay with the next girl I'm with.
My hypothesis about the mom is that she doesn't have anyone else in her life, and has traumas that result in her feeling like no one else is going to love her aside from her son. I don't know. It's just total speculation, but that produces a fair amount of desperation in the mom to need to be with Colt, and without Colt, she has nobody. And so if you have one relationship in your life and you believe that you can't have any other relationships, then you're going to hold on to that relationship pretty tightly, and you might even be selfish about it and destructive about it. I don't know. There seem to be some potential hypotheses to explore there. So that's interesting. We'll see how Jess reacts to this.
Wow.
I feel a little nervous, but I really think that once my mother meets Jess, they'll get along. Would you want to meet her in Brazil?
In Brazil?
Yeah. Well, she's worried. You know, she doesn't want me to make a mistake or something or get hurt.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. So there's nothing wrong with the mom worrying about her son. I think it would be rational for her to worry about him in this situation. There's nothing wrong with saying, Brazil sounds like a fun time. I'm just trying to figure out if this is inherently a bad idea. I don't know. I don't know if there's enough there. Certainly unusual, but I don't know if it's inherently a bad thing. I can't imagine it going well, though, right? Like, I can't imagine the mom enhancing their trip much. People live a lot of different lives, and that's a style of life that isn't common, but it's not inherently problematic. It could result in something. So if we're looking at the cons, the downside to this is that it could hinder Colt and Jess's ability to bond if the mom is there. Plus, if you're in Brazil, you have to entertain the mom too. You're not going to just leave the mom behind while you date someone. So the mom would always have to be there. Yeah, I don't see that being the best choice. I wonder if we could all sit down as a family, if I could say, Mom, why do you want to go? Well, I'm worried about Colt, and I'm worried that something bad is going to happen. Okay, is there something else you could put that energy into? Because as he dates people, it's just going to be inherently unpredictable. It's going to be inherently risky. Is being there going to necessarily change that? And is being there actually a good idea? Are you going to go there and allow them to be by themselves, or are you going to always be there with them? Because I don't know if that is going to help them. Having said that, Colt and Jess have already exhibited some pretty high conflict and difficulty communicating about things, particularly from Colt's side. And so I don't know how likely it is that Colt and Jess are going to work out anyway, whether the mom goes or not. Hey, deserving listeners, as you know, I'm constantly recommending that people go to therapy. We all need therapy from time to time. One of the options available that is definitely worth checking out is BetterHelp.com. So if you're looking for a therapist, I would give it a try by going to BetterHelp.com/Kirk. Make sure you use the /Kirk because you get 10% off your first month, and it helps us out. I get a lot of emails from you saying that you're looking for a therapist. As you watch these videos, I know many of you have been motivated to find your own therapist, but I know it can be really hard to find a good one to work with. Like I said, one of the options available to try is BetterHelp.com/Kirk. And you should know that this service is available to clients worldwide, which is amazing. I've been told that you can start communicating with your therapist in under 24 hours. You can message with your counselor anytime. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. And I've been told that it's often less expensive than in-person therapy. So go to BetterHelp.com/Kirk to get 10% off your first month of therapy today.
Tua?
Filha.
Filha.
Good job. I think someone did say, sim.
Okay.
My dad is very important for me. Yeah. My dad say, Jess, yes, yes, Jess, no, no.
That kind of sucks. That's a lot of pressure. I mean,
It's okay for you?
I guess I don't really have a choice. I just hope your dad likes me.
So Colt just gets done saying, I'm going to bring my mom because she's worried about me and you. implying that the mom wants to see how well Colt and Jess are together. And the very next topic, they're talking about how for Jess, she's like, my dad is going to meet you and he needs to approve of you in order for me to date you. And then Colt is like, well, that's a lot of pressure. I don't know if I feel good about that. I mean, the irony there.
I love you, but I love my dad, and my dad is more important. Sorry. My dad thinks so. I need a good boy for me.
All right, so she just said, my dad is very important to me, and my dad is more important to me than the people that I date. And I need my dad's approval for me to date somebody. I'm guessing they could bond on this issue. They could both say, we both have parents that are heavily invested in our lives. Let's both try to work with that. I'll try to work with your dad. You try to work with my mom. It's a high compatibility situation right there. Let's see if they can see that, because it seems like that's what I'm seeing.
Well, I think I'm a good boy for you. I just have to prove it. I was so excited to go to Brazil, but I feel like between my mother and now Jess's father, that I have to worry more about what our parents think than what I think of Jess. And I feel like I don't know how I can impress a man where I don't even speak his language.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if both of them were like, you know what, let's just date for a while. Let's not worry about our parents yet. For sure, down the line, we'll have to get them involved. But for now, let's just see if we get along. Let's see if we actually are compatible. It's just one of the things that I'm always thinking about with this show is that the fact that they're long distance, it just really makes it a lot harder to figure out if you're compatible, and all these other things start to get involved because, you know, if he goes to Brazil, it makes sense that he would meet her family because he's down there. But if they lived in the same town, would they have accelerated their relationship that fast? I don't know. But it always just makes me wonder if they just dated people in their hometown, would there be so much more fluidity to the dating process such that you can just relax, get to know the person, see if you're compatible, and if you're not, then you move on and you date someone else. The show, because of the visa thing and everything involved, it forces people together and it makes them stay together in situations where maybe it's not justified or warranted or wise. I don't know. All right, well, that does it for that episode in which I reacted to 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 5. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, I'm always interested in hearing what you think about what we're watching or what you think about what I said. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.